In this series, I'm going to review the books of the Livrezon Publishing house. Unfortunately, they are not available in English so far. Nevertheless, I will talk about the approach to writing a concentrated book and hope you will find it helpful, as I also hope we will start publishing books in English very soon too. Today, we will talk about Ilya Lebedev's book, How to Level Up Your Life. This is a book for students and young professionals. The whole idea arose from an obvious problem. We know that choosing a profession or university is a challenging decision. If you make the wrong choice, it will be hard to study and all the knowledge you get will become totally useless. As a result, students start working not in their specialty and often get a non-career job. On the other hand, we know examples of outstanding individuals who have succeeded, for instance, prominent scientists, well-known IT company owners, but they are more of an exception. A part of success depends on external circumstances and luck, but life decisions are also significant. What strategic mistakes do people make? How to avoid them? How to get a successful career? The author of the book has found the answers to all of these questions. What is the algorithm for writing a book in Livrezon? We talked about it in the previous video. The research is based on the analysis of a huge number of precedents. Therefore, the author started with collecting the precedents. The goal was to find cases where a young person makes a life decision that leads to some negative or positive consequences. The first type of sources were already existing books on student career development. As a rule, they contain elementary or even primitive recommendations. For example, never give up, work hard, or love what you do. I hope it's evident that it's not enough to solve the problem. How do these recommendations help to make strategic decisions that lead to a professional growth? The second type of sources were interviews with university lecturers and students. However, it turned out that teachers had no idea about the critical decisions students were making and didn't see their mistakes. And if they did, they didn't understand why these mistakes had occurred. The interviews with students allowed the author to collect typical students' misconceptions about their future. Neither students nor teachers could give coherent answers to questions about life strategy. It means that the topic of the book is relevant indeed. Finally, the author started interviewing successful professionals and had already gotten helpful advice. Other good sources were biographies of outstanding personalities such as James Watson, Dmitry Enrico Fermi, Steve Wozniak, Richard Feynman, and others. As a result, the author conducted about 150 interviews and read more than 100 books, and now his knowledge base comprises more than 300 examples. So the next step is to arrange all the examples into the model. The idea was to build a model that would guide students in making life choices. First, we try to make it easy for the reader to find necessary recommendations for their age. For this purpose, we introduced a timeline: high school student, undergraduate, graduate student, and postgraduate. But this division by age is not just for the reader's convenience. Each stage has different game rules. Secondly, we have introduced a level of success or individual results. Each level corresponds with some life strategy. There are 4 types of these strategies, which are graphically called freak, average nobody, pro, and genius. Individuals with 0 results are called freaks in the book. It's a life strategy of rapid degradation that is bad not only for those students themselves, but for those around them as well. The average nobody strategy is a way of conforming to social stereotypes. For example, that a lovely house and a sport car are critical personal values. Ultimately, this life strategy doesn't lead to development either. The pro strategy is a life strategy we talk about a lot on this channel. The goal of professional is to contribute to their profession. It means that professionals develop useful tools to solve professional problems. A genius strategy is an exceptional and challenging life path. The results of genius will be the emergence of new fields of human activity or breakthroughs in existing fields. Finally, the third dimension in the model is personal characteristics. At each stage of maturation and each life strategy, these parameters influence the individual's success. These parameters are: first one, social circle, the people with whom the young person interacts most of the time. Second, team role. It is the position that the young person usually occupies in the team. For example, an organizer, laggard, provocateur, etc. Third, worldview. person's goals, aspirations, understanding of good and evil, values. Fourth, interests and hobbies. These are the activities that young persons spend most of their time on, and how they spend their leisure time especially. Fifth, resource use. First of all, it's how the young persons spend their time and money. Sixth, skills and habits. No need for comments here. Thus, we identified 4 stages of maturation, 4 life strategies, and 6 personal characteristics. Multiply these numbers and you will get 96 facets describing your life choices and consequences. Pretty detailed, isn't it? The book's readers get acquainted with a detailed description of life scenarios. They can see which decisions lead to some negative or positive consequences and make more precise professional choices. I will give an example of one of the author's recommendations. A young person who aspires to be a professional has 2 social circles. One is professional, his peers. The other is formed spontaneously and includes relatives, acquaintances, classmates. It's not a good idea to mix these 2 circles. You just don't have to go into detail about what you are working on when speaking with friends. Because firstly, statistics show that really ambitious projects are stereotypically perceived negatively by ordinary people. Secondly, mixing business and domestic models of behavior harms both work and relationships. To conclude, today we talked about Ilya Lebedev's book, How to Level Up Your Life. I want to remind the principles of writing a book that we have discussed. First, the book is devoted to a pressing problem. Second, the book is based on a vast knowledge base of instances. And third, the instances are summarized so that the readers are given a tool to solve their problem. That's all. Check out the other concentrated videos on the channel and wait for the next video. Thank you.